So there's our review of Memento, the first in a series of Sir Christopher Nolan films that we're covering on the Movie Chef podcast. And I think uh, from what we've said, it goes without saying it's for me it's one of his best films in terms of all-round accomplishment. One of my favorites, definitely.
I think it's one of those ones where you can now see where Christopher Nolan's confusion kind of drops in whenever he makes a new movie, because it all started and it was just confusing.
Well, it's going to get even more confusing on our next episode. So we are in the next of our movie menu. We are going to be doing The Prestige, Christian Bale
Hmm.
and Hugh Jackman. So that is the
Hmm.
next in the series. So be sure you subscribe to that. Obviously, thanks for watching us on YouTube. So you can click subscribe, notify little bell that tells you when new episodes are coming out. It's not very frequent, so when you do, make sure you're listening. Thanks for rating us on Spotify. Give us a 5-star review. And be sure to go to www.moviechefpodcast.com. Anything more from you, mate?
Nope, not for me, lad.
Okay, well, I'm going to go and try and get my money out of Cormac. See you, everybody. And here is our review of Memento. So, Christopher Nolan's first film, well, it was following in 1998, and then he did Memento in
Uh-huh.
2000. And did we watch this together in uni? I remember having a VHS of it, and I can't remember if me and you sat watching this.
See, this is the whole kind of thing, right? This is where I get confused with the amount of like decent kind of movies like this that came out in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. And I think part of the confusion relies a lot on Joe Pantoliano and Carrie Ann Moss, because
Mm.
I think there's like maybe three or four movies that they were both in it together. Now, I can only remember off the top, I didn't even look it up, but it just popped into my head. I can only remember
I think we
Matrix.
know one. I think we
Yeah,
know the other one. We
yeah,
we can all come on.
I remember Matrix, but I'm almost sure that there was like two or three movies that they were in together. But I kind of put this movie in the kind of same kind of area as Donnie Darko, because it was that kind of them kind of first movies that were coming out that had like no kind of structured narrative. And they just tried to confuse you just for the sake of confusing you. And we all kind of agreed collectively that for about 3 or 4 years that these movies were the best. Like Pulp Fiction came out and its narrative was split up, but it kept all within a certain kind of timeline. Three Colors series as well, near enough the same. Then you had like things like Amoros Perros that came out. You had like Kill and Zoe came out. There was a lot of these movies that came out with different structures to the movie, but they kind of
Hmm.
all came together at the end. But this kind of movie was one where didn't really come together at the end, and you were kind of left a little bit confused anyway.
So this is Christopher Nolan. Like I say, it's Memento starring Guy Pearce, 2000, and it's very basically a man with short-term memory loss attempts to track down his wife's killer. He does this through taking notes, tattoos, photographs, and this is very much all about memory. And you mentioned the non-linear narrative. The thing that sticks out about Memento is that it hits you, and it starts at the end of the film, and then every scene is interlaced with an ongoing sort of subplot, or so it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But every scene is the one that came before, and it's playing into the audience's own insecurity about their memory and about what's coming next. It almost puts you into um, into Leonard's shoes,
Yeah,
where you're not remembering what's happened. You've not remembered everything that's going on around you. And that kind of nervousness and unsureness about yourself, that plays in the audience as well. You're thinking, is this something I should know? Should I
yeah.
remember it? What have I missed out on something? What's going on? And that's what Memento is absolutely famous for. And that the non-linear narrative is something I want to touch on in a minute. So go.
But it was something to do with the fact as well that the movie was made in such a way that there were things in the movie that actually made you, as you just said, that made you think, did I see that right? Stupid wee things that if you notice, if you've seen it once or twice, then back in the day I watched Memento about 3 or 4 times. Um, the fact that the license plate for John G isn't always the same.
Mm.
Not always the same. The fact that you can't really tell between, like, everybody in this movie is horrible. Like there is nobody in this movie who's good. Everyone who interacts with Leonard is trying to take advantage of Leonard because of his short-term memory loss.
Yeah.
Even the fact that how he describes his own memory loss and how he describes what he can remember, how he can remember, and the length of time that he can remember that skill in, that changes. And even like the fact that there are some scenes where 30 seconds go by and he forgets. There are some scenes go by where 5 minutes go by and he doesn't forget. And it's like, is it real? Is it fake? And I mean, that's the whole kind of the juxtaposition of the whole Sammy Jenkins thing that comes into it as well.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
yeah, you've got that whole kind of narrative. Is Sammy Jenkins' Leonard story? Is he just making that up completely? It is one of those movies where you could genuinely watch it the same way 3 or 4 times and come up with a different conclusion at the end. And I think in itself, that in itself makes it a very good movie. But also how it's put together. The fact that I'm even sitting here thinking about it now, and I've watched it twice in the last 2 weeks, and I was still about to jump into you and go, the movie, when you said the movie starts at the end, I was about to jump in and go, does it? Does it start at the end? Like, does it start at the end? And it's,
Does it though?
but I think, yes, I think it does. I think it does.
It starts at the end of this story, and this story,
Yeah.
again, we're saying it again, spoiler alert, but it's 24 years old, people.
Yeah.
That's
If you haven't seen it, you're
if you
listening
haven't
to the
seen it
wrong
and
podcast.
you've clicked onto if you've clicked onto a video on YouTube that says Memento spoiler review, then you've not seen it. Don't blame us for that. Right. We start at the end with Teddy's death,
Mhm.
and then we work backwards. And the twist, and again, there's a few bits I wanted to pick up with Nolan was non-linear narrative and a twist in the story. There's also, I think, the prestige is piece de la resistance of his
Yeah.
twist.
No, I don't
But he
think
likes,
so. I don't
but he
think
likes,
so.
but in this, it was very clever that not only did it hit us with the Sammy Jenkins, but it was also the fact that he hadn't found his wife's killer, and somebody
Yeah.
is manipulating himself,
Yeah.
and it's sort of like he knows deep down he will never be satisfied, he will never be content because he will always be hunting his wife's killer, so he just goes and hunts a new guy each time.
Yeah.
And that's it. And we've this what we saw from beginning to end, or from end to beginning, was Teddy's story. But
Yeah.
I can imagine there's others around here. But you mentioned Pulp Fiction, but towards the end of the 90s, you had films like Thin Red Line.
Hmm.
Mulholland Drive was 2001. Um,
Don't
even
even
Reservoir Dogs.
don't even stick Mulholland Drive on that.
But in terms of the way
It was
narrative is used, no,
it,
the
it
way
was
narrative's used. I'm not
it was
talking
just
about of quality.
horrible.
Yeah, I'm not. But jumping around, telling a
Yeah,
story
yeah,
in
yeah.
different ways. Probably Memento and Pulp Fiction are two of the best that have done it
Oh,
for me.
by far.
And the reason why I wanted to include this in our Nolan series was because you look at all Nolan's films. The Prestige does it a little bit, but it sort of plays around in more flashbacks. But Dunkirk plays with the idea of a
Yeah,
linear narrative and the time across those times. Inception is sort of narratives below each other, so it's
yeah,
continuous stories but different levels. And then Oppenheimer obviously jumps from time to time to fill in the blanks of the stories. So this is something that started all the way back in with Following with Christopher Nolan back in '98, and he's done it with Memento. So that's why I wanted to pick up on that.
so
You mentioned Carry On
what you're
Moss.
saying is he's lazy. He's
It is,
lazy and he's
he's fine.
rehashing this stuff all
He
together.
he Oppenheimer won him his Oscar, and what I wanted to do was go back and look at the key films. And
Mhm.
for me, if you look at Oppenheimer, one of the things that was really good about it was the way the story was told. It wasn't just from beginning to end, because they get boring. It jumps around in time. It makes you realize the black and white scenes. Contrast this with Memento, the black and white courtroom scenes that were
Yeah,
going on, the black and white memories of Sammy Jenkins.
yeah,
Stephen
but he,
Tobolowsky, by the way, is
yeah,
is an
amazing.
absolute underrated actor. He normally does comedy, but Stephen Tobolowsky in this is fantastic.
But Nolan uses black and white, and this is the same thing as with Memento, because in Memento, the black and white scenes and the color and the full color scenes are completely different. So you get the feeling, obviously, that your black and white scenes are the past, and your color scenes are the present or the future. And he uses them, very, very, very well. But one thing you said there about Leonard and his memory, and I think Memento is one of those movies that, again, you can't trust Leonard's memory. You can't trust the fact that everybody in the movie is out for themselves, and it also meant Leonard in that as well, because as it comes obviously following throughout the story, the story starts to unfold, and we start to find out that, has Leonard got the killer? Did he find the murderer? Was it something, did the cop help him find it? And then you kind of get to the end, and or start at the beginning, and you find out, well, this he's setting himself up. Leonard is even, playing himself. So he's not
Mm.
only is everybody in the movie taking advantage of him, he's taking advantage of himself. So it is such one of those movies that is what I was going to try and ask you. Do you think Nolan, starting off with this movie, has purposely made, I'll say, intricate movies to confuse the audience more and more, just because this was the start of it? I want to get more. Do you think that there's ever I think in Nolan's head going, I want to make a complete circle movie. I want to go start to finish, or I'm just going to go whatever way I want. I'm just going to do the line, and I'm never going to get to the end.
I think he's one of those old-fashioned filmmakers like Tarantino. I'm putting him up there with Tarantino because he's taking a concept and then he fine-tunes it throughout his career. So I think that's one of the things he enjoys about filmmaking.
Okay.
I think certain directors, Michael Bay enjoys blowing shit up. And if you can blow
Nothing
something
wrong with
huge,
that. Nothing fucking
nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with that.
that.
But that's a Michael Bay thing. I bet he gets a right fucking hard on when he does an upward shot of somebody getting off a helicopter with the blades in slow motion. That's what Michael Bay does. I think Christopher Nolan's gone, I really enjoy telling stories in different ways. Look at Tenet. Not only
Yeah.
is it film that goes forwards and backwards. So I think he looks at it and thinks, how can I tell this story and have the audience keep up? But it destabilizes you almost, and
Mhm.
it takes you out of, you're not just watching a standard film start to finish, beginning to end. It forces you to work and engage with what's going on and concentrate. And I think you take a lot more out of a film when your active brain is actually sat in the cinema thinking, I need to focus on what's going on, otherwise I'm not going to keep up. And you'll lose a lot of people to that. But I think he tells stories so well
No,
by this sort of creativity.
yeah. Another thing that kind of came to my mind was watching this movie as well was, what the hell happened to Guy Pearce?
I don't know. Iron Man 3.
But like, he had like a lot of success in the mid to late 90s, kind of early 2000s. He was in what was the Count of Monte Cristo. He was in
Yep.
LA
Time Machine.
Time Machine. Do you know what? Maybe you've just hit the nail on the head there. You've just said
Yeah.
that's what happened to him. Yeah, him and Samantha Mumba fucked themselves, and they made the Time Machine. Yeah,
Let's
sorry,
have a
that's
look.
you've answered the question there.
I'm just having a look here. I can't see much. People will probably say, "Oh my God, he was in such and such," but
No, he's been
Bloodshot,
no, 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 no,
Bloodshot
no.
with Vin Diesel.
Yeah, no, I'm
But
not.
yeah, he's he,
I'm not saying that he wasn't in things. That's not what I'm saying. Like
but he
when
was
you
being
look,
set up as the
yeah,
next
yeah.
superstar,
When
and
you look at movies like that, when you look at Memento, right? Yes, Christopher Nolan wasn't a big name. Carrie-Anne Moss wasn't really that big of a name. Joe Pantoliano
no,
was a character actor. Yes, I understand that, but the way that Memento actually hit, and the way that it became one of those kind of underground kind of DVD kind of sales,
mm,
kind of a hit movie, the way that it hit and the way that it struck and the way that people loved Memento, you would have thought that Guy Pearce now has kind of got right. Now he's got the chops with Curtis Hanson, and LA Confidential. He's got his awards kind of movie. He's got the underground hit, the cult kind of movies for the people who love just fucking, random indie movies. Like, where was his kind of big time? Surely do you know what? That's a good thing that you said Iron Man 3 as well.
mm,
Maybe he should have been given a superhero movie.
it was.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of a,
Yeah,
hero, not a villain.
yeah.
And he was a shit
Next,
villain as well, let's be honest.
Memento did 39 million at the box office, so it was very much a VHS
Yeah.
cult.
What
But
was the budget? What was the budget for it though? Budget couldn't have
oh,
been more.
I don't have access to all the finances right now. I'm sorry, mate.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
hang on one second. Let me just hack into
Thought you would have fucking did a wee bit of homework here, Paul, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it says the catering was
Okay.
Hollywood Eats.
Oh
Hollywood
yeah.
Eats, who were on
Very
set. Yeah, they
lovely
did
tuna sandwiches.
Taco Tuesday. They had on set.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan's scarf was green during the shoot,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't have the
I
budget. Oh yes, I
wonder.
do.
I
Oh yes, I do.
wonder.
5 million.
There you go.
5 million.
I
So good
wonder
return.
I wonder did he wear a suit, or did that come with the pretension after Batman?
No, I think he had pretension before Batman.
You think?
Mm. But I think he's earned it now.
Oh,
He's earned it for
yeah,
me
yeah.
now.
Oh,
He's
it's
earned
right.
it.
It's right. Do you know what?
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
another thing that I
Can
didn't
I
know
just
about
say
this?
he's now like upper level and down there still in terms of suit wearing directors. Paul Feig's down there now. It's like Paul Feig needs an Oscar to bump himself up.
That see, there's one. There's your levels, right? Okay, that's a good one. Okay, we've got okay top of the tree directors. Who have we got? You have to go Spielberg and stuff,
Are we
don't you?
talking
Just
pretension?
well, no, no,
Tarantino.
no, no. And oh Jesus, no, Tarantino's away, way, way, way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like
Have you
directors,
ever seen a film? Have you ever seen a
who
film called Five Ninjas in Chinatown?
so your directors, so you got like your Kubricks and your
Yeah,
Spielbergs
yeah.
and
Rushmore level. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, all that. Where would Nolan fit within that list?
Well, we were talking about Francis Ford Coppola earlier in
Hmm.
terms of what he did, and when we were talking about the Megalopolis trailer that came out, we said that Coppola is that when you do The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, I think you produce a couple of bits of work and you invest your own money in films or whatever, you deserve it. You get up there.
Yeah.
And I'd put Kubrick up there, I'd put Coppola up there. Would you put Terrence Malick and someone like that? In terms of Nolan, he's up there now as like I think your Spielberg and your Michael Bay, they do the Russos, they do the superhero, the big bombastic box office films. But as an auteur, as a filmmaker, Tarantino and Nolan as active directors right now are probably the two that are up there for me.
We're so westified, aren't we, though, as well? There could be
Oh yeah.
these indie every fucking 7 days there's a new French fucking
Can I just say there's a
Je
guy
m'appelle
on
Bibaba.
Can I just say there's a guy on TikTok. His name's Rufus something or other, right? Real posh, like rugby bloke, yeah. And
Mhm.
it came out with this video set the other day. It says, to prove I'm not racist, I'm going to name 100 Asian people. Okay, Pol Pot. But yeah, Memento is it's up there as one of his better films for me. They get I think obviously with the newer films, the more special effects, the more budget, but as a filmmaking exercise, Memento is if you're going to be introduced, and we always say this with the menu, the starter is the introduction to the meal, the
Mhm.
introduction to the director. And if you've never seen a Christopher Nolan film before, where have you been? And secondly, go watch Memento.
You
Put
have
that
to.
in.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that tells you everything you need to know about what this director is about. And it's a as okay, let's just look at it as a film noir, private eye detective story. It, it never I don't think anybody could figure out what was going on
Mhm.
because he was trying to work out the case when he already had the clue. He
Yeah.
had to work backwards. How did I get this clue?
And
What
the
was
fact
I onto? What was I
and
onto to have got
yeah,
this clue, this napkin, this book of matches?
and the fact that he destroys his own evidence and he
Yeah,
forget and
burn.
he yeah and he forgets that he destroys his own evidence and
Yeah.
he makes up his own evidence. So the confusion and even I think that this is probably the reason why I watched this movie 3 or 4 times. And now something that I didn't know, and I don't know if it's true, and I'm gonna have to look into it. But I was reading somewhere online. I was doing a little bit of research, and I rewatched Memento. I downloaded it from Amazon Prime, right? And the ending wasn't the same as the one that I seen. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, it was one of those ones where oh, I remembered it this way, I remembered it whatever. It
Mm.
didn't really pop into my head. Then I read somewhere that on the DVD the ending is random.
Random.
There are 3 or 4 different endings to the movie. Now,
Okay.
they're not all completely different. I'm not talking about a completely different narrative. I'm just talking about different ways that the actual end of the movie is set up and or if it's a different reaction or if it's a different this. It was just I don't know why, but I just felt like it was a different movie that I seen when I seen it the first time. And then I remembered on the DVD as well that there was like a menu in the main menu. Now this is I'm remembering this from like 20 years ago. On the main menu, there was like I think it was like a spiral, and it was
Hmm.
like all the writing was going round and round. And there was a part of the DVD menu you hit it, it played it in chronological order.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Basically
remember
pressing
that.
N. Yeah. Did you watch it in chronological order then, or have you
I,
just watched it?
I watched it years ago in chronological order. I didn't watch it
Okay.
this time in chronological
No,
order.
I haven't, but I didn't, and I think it'd be interesting to watch it that way. But I think when you watch it that again,
Yeah.
it's just going to be a man with short-term memory
Yeah,
forgetting who he's talking to.
how Nolan wanted you to watch it. That's kind of the
Yeah,
way of it, isn't it?
it's like the director's cut of Donnie Darko. Don't watch that. Watch the
Really?
theatrical cut. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just
Watch Southland Tales.
yeah, watch that, people. But yeah, Memento 2000. It's on Netflix. It's on Prime Video if you want to buy it. Absolutely well worth the watch.
Oh, 100%.
5 stars. Yeah. Is it better than Mandalorian?
Yes.
Excellent.
I forgot how good it was. Genuinely, I forgot how good it. That's how I could easily watch it twice in 2 weeks.
Okay. So that was the Cormac Corner. We're still going to have a bit of disagreement on that later on, but
Mhm.
now here we go. Before we get on to our Memento review, we're going to be, like I say, be sure to give us a Spotify follow. That would make all the difference to everybody who's listening. We're going to be doing our Cineworld question of the day, the episode, the
The
week.
week, yeah, whatever.
What number were we on?
6, I believe.
Are we on 6?
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're on 6. Okay. Just need to find where I put it all. Hey, talk amongst yourselves.
Da,
Right,
da,
day
da, da,
6.
da.
A film you put on when you're feeling sad, Corm. Open up to me. What film do you put on? Showgirls?
Well, of course, anything to touch myself.
Bedazzled?
It's I'm almost sure we've answered that question.
Have we?
I'm almost sure we have.
All right, I'll tell you what. Hey, people, thanks for keeping up. Oh, there'll be emails on that one. Excuse me, you were doing day 6 and you did it twice. You wee shite. Do 7.
But you know what? We'll go 7. We'll see if I remember that question.
A film that you'd love to see on a big screen.
Oh, see that's it. There you go.
Right,
No, I never
there
see
we
that.
go.
Never see that.
A film you want to see on the big
Uh,
screen. Film you put on when you feel.
no,
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 no.
no,
I've got
no.
two. I have
Puh,
two. I have
puh.
two.
Right.
So number one that I probably could have seen on the big screen, but I was too lazy, was the original Star Wars, not the fucking digital 1997 remaster, but the
Yep.
original Star Wars. You know, that's I would have enjoyed to watch that, but for the visual kind of effect, the visuals of it, and you are gonna fucking hate this, Blade Runner. Yeah, stick that in your fucking pipe and smoke it, big man. I know I did a cigarette accent there, but I should have done a pipe.
Um, Blade
Paul,
Runner.
hey, hold on, Paul. What movie would you like to watch on the big screen?
Do you know what? Genuinely,
Go
Hudson
on.
Hawk. Hudson Hawk.
Oh, oh,
Never saw it. Never saw
you're
it at the
right.
cinema.
You're right.
Do you want to know something else as well? Do you know what we
Go.
could? Do you know what we could do? I looked, and I'm sure for like 500-600 quid, you could hire out a Cineworld.
That you're
So
gonna say. I thought you could say Richard E. Grant. Really? He's that cheap? 500 quid? He's that cheap?
Damn fucking mad assholes.
Damn,
Um,
awesome.
we could hire out a Cineworld. I have the original trilogy theatrical cuts on DVD. We hotwire a DVD into a Cineworld camera, and we could watch.
Hmm.
What do you reckon?
I say the closest people we've got to do that would be like Fizz and Ginger, or maybe they can get us into like a cinema. Oh no,
Or
you
or
what?
or we could ring up a cinema and say, I will pay you £500 to rent you one of your cinemas at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Not
Do you know
500,
why?
not 500 quid.
Fuck it, it is. Yes, it is.
Really?
Yes, it's about that. Yeah. Imagine 11 o'clock in the morning for 3 hours. How much money are they making on Barney the Purple Dinosaur 3 Adventures in
Oh,
Toy Town? How much money are they doing on that?
but
500, they rent them out for they
I could
rent
be
them
doing
out for
anything in
corporate
there.
events.
I
They
could be
rent
doing
them out.
anything in there.
Yeah, and they guarantee you will be. They'll all have night vision on, seeing you whacking it away to Barney the Purple Dinosaur. No, they rent them out for conferences. They get like guys in, jeans and shirt tucked in and earpieces doing TED Talks in front of a big cinema.
This is how we sell insurance on discs, CDs.
People, people,
Woo!
and then they just give some Alec Baldwin from Glengarry Glen Ross speech.
Fastballs.
I'm sales. I'm in sales. Quick, let me update my LinkedIn.
A, B, C. Always B. Closing.
I saw my daughter take her first steps this morning and it thought to myself, this is how I should apply myself in the workplace. Get up every morning at 5 a.m. Shut the fuck up. Um, Hudson Hawk, yeah, Star Wars ones, or what was the other one I was going to mention? Can't remember. Yeah,
watching me watch Blade Runner and laughing at me.
I would sit in a cinema and watch you watching Blade Runner on a telly, and I'll just sit on my phone. It's like, yeah, wow.
Wow.
If you want to see Blade Runner, I'll make it happen.
See, I'm already in there for some money, so I'm not gonna be. I don't want to. I don't want to add more money to that fucking list. So, yeah, we'll put that on the back
Okay,
burner.
okay, fair enough. Well, yeah. So without further ado, then let's discuss the reason why we're here. Then review of Christopher Nolan's Memento. Now over to Cormac Corner.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't actually told me what Cormac Corner is this week, so do you want to?
I could do two things, and I'm gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you choose. All right.
Yippee!
Okay. So
Wowzers!
number one,
Ka-ching!
we can talk about Fallout, the TV show, or number two, we can talk about Gojira.
Um, uh, what Godzilla
-1.
Day One -1? Right? No, we're not going to talk about that because I want to see that.
Okay.
So you talk about Fallout.
Well, have you ever played Fallout? Don't you just sit back? Don't you sit back? This isn't your time just to go to sleep. This
No,
is
it is because
there's active participation in this.
Oh, right. Okay, go on. Hit me. Fallout.
Have you played Fallout?
No, no. I played. I went in a vault and then a nuke hit or something. Then I came out of
Yeah.
the vault and everything was shit. And I walked around and you had to collect loads of stuff. And then I got bored and turned it off.
Yeah, that's Fallout.
Right. Okay.
That's
Cool.
what you do. Yeah,
Nah, I had played it then.
that's the
I've played it
bullet.
then. Yeah,
That's the
I've played it.
bullet.
Completed, mate.
So
Completed it.
so the new Fallout TV show came out on Amazon Prime.
Is it as good as the game?
Paul, it is outstanding.
Wow.
It
Will I
is
have no clue what's going on? Will it be like
no,
watching Warcraft the movie?
not in any way, shape, or form. It is so well crafted between like love for the actual game itself, and fanboys will have enough little like Easter eggs, but there's no real Easter eggs that are thrown right in your fucking. I'm gonna bring up Ghostbusters again. You know, there's no things just thrown right in your face all the time just to move a narrative along. You know, remember these, remember this, remember those, remember. There's none of that. It is literally, you know, a new story, a kind of fresh story set in that timeline. We're gonna see some kind of iteration between Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. But the entirety of the series, it got me just thinking, and it was, how can movies now compete with the length that you have on a TV show, the budget that you have per episode on a TV show? Because I read that every episode of of Fallout cost between 45 and 80 million dollars.
What?
Yeah, like it's vast, you know. And no, don't get me wrong, there are practical effects, there's CGI in it, you know. It is gory as hell, you know. It is very, very visceral. It's got a great story, it looks fantastic, and you know, keeps faith with the games. But then that got me thinking about the actual cost of like things like the Lord of the Rings, you know, TV shows, when you're spending, you know, 100 to 150 million on each episode. Or, you know, Westworld, where they were spending between 50 and 100 million per episode. You know, obviously we're going to talk about Nolan as well. But I can't get my head around the fact that they're making TV shows now where the budget of an 8 episode TV show, like, you could probably make two or three Titanics, or
Mm.
two or three Avatars in that.
Now,
And
are the special effects 10 times better than Avatar?
I,
Where's the
I,
money going?
I would say that, but the mix between the practical and the special effects in any good TV show nowadays, and I would put Fallout in that, outstrips most movies.
I absolutely agree that the investment in television is what's killing cinema.
Yes, what
Absolutely.
without a doubt, and I think we spoke about this. We spoke about this a while ago about the Disney effect, the Marvel effect, and Marvel, keeping adding in TV shows. It is not false that the TV shows have suddenly just dried up from Marvel. And I know there's a few that's going to be coming out, but them TV shows, do you remember like for 2 or 3 years, they were coming thick and fast. They were like,
Mm.
it was one a month, bam, 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 maybe two even a month, bam, bam, bam. They were constantly coming out, and we were
Oh,
constantly
I
getting
know they're like
barraged with
Ms.
them.
Marvel and Star Wars coming
Yeah,
out in August together, and there's too much. There is too much.
yeah,
But the point I make is you're looking at um, all this money invested. You're paying your Amazon Prime. You're paying your Netflix. You might as well stay in and watch them. And I'll be honest, the ease at which you're able to see new films now. So I watched Dune Part 2 at home. I know, sacrilege, but I genuinely don't have the time
yeah.
to go to the. It's like I can't go to the cinema on an evening to watch a 3 hour film. I just don't. It's a 5 hour trip, and in an evening where you have 4 hours, I just what I mean. And I watched that. You know what? Yeah, you can see how there's a. I'll be interested to see the next one because I won't have seen the anyway. But the other thing I watched, which I wish I'd have gone to the cinema and put money into it that way, but obviously I've watched it properly. Well, I did watch it properly, paid for it on Amazon, was Monkey Man with Dev Patel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So good.
Yeah,
Real good fun. It's like Indian kind of Ong Bak the Raid. Maybe not as visceral action, but still, it's still that kind of action. And from Dev Patel to have directed that was really impressive. But it was one of those films that sort of showed, where everyone visits India in films
yeah,
and they always
yeah.
see India. Feels like the real India, a film made by Indian people, and absolutely outstanding. I wish I'd have gone to the cinema to see it,
But that,
but
but that, that
it's
brings.
they've made it too easy. It's like you see it come out of the cinema and you just know in 45 days time you could pay 20 quid and watch it at home.
But not even that. Not even that. Films like Monkey Man that are coming out now solely get made on the back that movie. Them movie rights are already sold to something like Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
it's no longer let's just release a movie and hope for the best. Yeah, that it finds an audience, or DVD sales or something like that. That does not exist anymore. So before a movie gets made, a synopsis will go to some studio, and the studio will then pitch it to a Netflix or whatever, a subscription, Hulu,
Mm.
Paramount, blah 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 blah. And if they don't give the green light, then it ain't getting done. It is that simple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. If they say
and
we're not going to buy it afterwards, and
yeah,
that's why
it's
they're
not
making so
happening.
many films of their own.
But that there lies in, and we're going to speak about it later on. We're going to speak about Memento. Movies like Memento will never get made again,
No.
ever. Like
Uber Ball was saying that. So
yeah,
what Uber Ball
they
was
will
saying.
never they will never get made again, and it is solely down, and it's solely down to number one, TV shows are getting more money. They're getting better. They've got a longer time to hit an audience. A TV show doesn't now need to even find its feet or its audience to season three if it lasts that long.
No.
TV shows don't even need to be good anymore because streaming services only care about the length of time that you're watching it. They don't even care, if you watch it again and again and again and again and again and again. They care if you've watched it from start to finish, and whether it be shit or whether it be great, they don't care.
But you imagine a film, right? You make Warner make the film, then they have to put it in the cinemas. Cinemas take their 50%. So the studio get the other 50%. Then they go to Netflix or a streaming provider and say, we're going to sell you this film. We're going to do it. So Netflix can just take that money and make them. I was thinking when you're saying Fallout, 50 million an episode or whatever, they could spend 500 million on a series, including the marketing and everything like that.
Yeah.
500 million. A billion has been spent on the Lord of the Rings series. And all they've got to make sure is that they're getting a return, as in people are staying subscribed.
Yeah.
And as long as they can get that, and I worked out that it's £90 a year. And as long as if one person signs up with the intent of just watching that series and then stays signed up for another 2 months, then they'll have paid the money that a cinema ticket would have covered.
Mm-hmm.
If they just log
Yeah.
in, subscribe, and then forget about it, forget about the subscription, don't watch it anymore, it just stays there. And it's just one of those things. Oh, it's only 9 quid. I'll just leave it there, but I haven't watched anything on it.
But I read as well that what they're going to try and do now, and it's so fucking. It's like just it's Sky or cable or whatever way they want to do it. They're going to start bundling these apps together. So Paramount, Hulu, and I think it's Netflix are all going to try and start doing like together subscriptions. So it'll be like 20 quid, watch Paramount, watch this one. They're like, well, that's just fucking TV. Like
Yeah,
we've just
yeah,
went round in a fucking circle. We've just went from, oh well, I'll watch what I want. If I want to download this, then I'll download that. I want to download this. And then you look at Amazon Prime as well. Half the shit that you've got on Amazon Prime is on fucking Netflix. And
yeah,
all the shit that's on Netflix is already on Paramount Plus. And it's
yeah.
like it's fucking maddening. Like there's
You're paying for certain exclusives, and those
yeah, you're
exclusives
paying
have
for
got to
your
be better than
exclusives.
anybody
Yeah,
else's.
100%. And
Yeah.
that's my corner.
So Fallout's good then.
Yeah, but that do you know what that didn't that feel good to get that all off our chest there? But
It is.
subscription
I just
services and
I just need you to keep talking till I work out what day we're on for Cineworld's 30 film day challenge. I can't remember what day we're
I
on.
think we might be on day 6, maybe. I think it's
Right,
6, maybe 7.
let's have a look. Okay, movie news time. So, quick fire movie news. I'm going to hit you
News,
with
news,
news. I'm going to hit you with quick fire news. You're going to give me your opinion
Okay.
as you were. Okay, Ralph Ineson has been cast as Galactus in the Fantastic Four films.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Great casting. Finally, I'm not going to see like Brad Pitt as fucking Galactus. And that, you
Yeah.
know what? It's one of those. And I think we spoke about this when we seen Charlize Theron, turn up at the end of a fucking Marvel movie, and
Yeah.
it really annoyed me. And like, you get all these people. Aren't you fucking big enough already that you don't need to be in a Marvel movie?
But for me, it was like watching June 2 the other day. And you're watching that, and then suddenly up pops fucking Elvis, Austin Taylor, what's his
Elvis
name?
was in it.
Elvis popped up. Then next minute, Anya Taylor-Joy's showing up out of nowhere. Then
Yeah,
Florence fucking Pugh's in it, and they're like, these are just flavors of the month.
yeah,
I can't turn anything on without the same frigging accent. Anyway, sorry, Ralph Ineson. If it's just the voice, I mean, it's bound to be. If
100%.
you think how Tiamat was in the size of Tiamat, or what was the name of the other one from Eternals? The big
Oh, I can't
fucking
even
god.
remember.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that one that no one gives a shit about. Artism. Yeah. Anyway, so you're thinking he's going to be that size. Realistically, he's going to be that size. So if it's just the voice, they've got the voice, the best guy for the voice.
Well, yeah, and I think it's one of those ones. If people haven't ever seen or heard of Ralph Ineson, then just go back to any British drama or comedy show from the late 90s, early 2000s. Obviously, The Office is going to be, the big one that I would probably know him for. I think he was in one of the what was that movie with Dev Patel? Green Knight,
Slumdog
Green
Millionaire.
Knight, Green
Green
Knight,
Knight.
Green Knight.
Yes,
He
he
was in
actually
Green
played the
Knight as
Green Knight
well.
in
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, he played one of the Death Eaters in Harry Potter as well.
Oh, he was in. Yeah, yeah. But he's absolute spot. It was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. It was in quite a
Yes.
lot of the scenes
Uh-huh.
with John C. Riley, and Ralph Ineson, Leeds fan. Hello, everyone. Leeds United.
God
Leeds
love him.
lose, lose. Yeah.
God love him.
We're going to Wembley. We're going to Wembley. We're going to lose at Wembley. Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum.
The
Peter Jackson's
hunt
announced.
for more money.
Pretty
What was
much,
that?
yeah.
Spaceballs 2? Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money.
Yeah, Peter Jackson's announced that Andy Serkis is going to be starring and directing in Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. Apparently, there's going to be a lot of these spin-offs from his films.
Hopefully
What
we'll see Gandalf. Ooh.
we're going to do, aren't we? I don't get it. I don't know. Why is it's Star Wars?
They're
They've done Star
trying.
Wars. They can't.
They
Lord of the
can't leave
Rings
it
tried
alone.
to go thousands of years before, and that got slated. So they can't go afterwards. They could tell another story. Isn't this sort of telling a
I've got
spin-off
it.
story from another
I've got
side of?
it. I've got it. I've got it. Right. Here's the new Lord of the Rings TV show or movie, right? On the Boat with Frodo. That's what it's called. On the Boat with Frodo. So it shows Frodo's homosexual adventures with the elves going on that little boat. And then we all know he dies at the end anyway. Like, there it is.
Is that it? Is that you? It's basically the life of Pi without tigers.
That's my
Oh
fucking
no, they're
elevator.
not homosexual. Are they?
That's my elevator pitch. That's the
It's a
elevator
shit
pitch.
pitch.
I'm
That's
standing in the
awful.
pitch for Peter Jackson, and I'm looking at him going, "Gay romp with Frodo on a boat."
Where are we going with Gollum?
Stop shouting at me.
What is it? What is it? Who's hunting for Gollum?
Nobody's
What?
hunting for Gollum. We already know. We already know. We've seen it. They just showed us to it. He
Yeah,
did. He did it all in 3 minutes at the start of Return of the King.
and that's all you needed to know.
Yeah.
And then we had a whole section in The Hobbit, so we saw him
Hmm.
there,
Yeah, that's right.
and
Yeah.
that's how we got the ring, and that's how we lost the ring. So is it going to be the hunt for like? I don't get it.
Hunt for more money.
It seems like it's a video game spin-off. Anyway, Sigourney Weaver is apparently in talks for the film that's coming out of Mandalorian and Grogu.
Hmm.
Are you happy, first of all, with the film?
I still think it should stay a TV show. But I believe that what they're probably doing now is they're probably going to focus more on things like Andor,
Mm.
which I don't really mind. Andor was stupendous. I loved it from start to finish. I've watched 3 or 4 times. I'm really excited for the second season of Andor coming out. But Sigourney Weaver, it's one of those things, isn't it? Mandalorian, good. Star Wars, good. Sigourney
Yeah,
Weaver,
yeah,
good.
we
Um,
happy.
yeah, I just
We'd
I
be
hope
happy.
it all. I hope they all just link together. I hope they don't undercut the the kind of story narrative that they have going on with the actual TV shows. That's I think me and you spoke about it a few times. That
My understanding is it's
Western.
going to bring all those threads together.
I hope
So
it
it's going
does.
to have
I hope it
we're going to
does.
have Ahsoka, Mandalorian, probably
If
going to be a Mandalorian warrior and all this kind of stuff, and it's just
if
going to
they
bring out all the TV shows together.
if they can make it into something like a like a spaghetti western version of the Western TV show, if that makes sense. Did I say that right? Did that make sense to you?
Mm,
So obviously the TV show has a narrative of a weekly episodic, Western Sunday morning
yeah.
Western that you used to watch, and how Westerns kind of turned around was for them to be turned more like Sergio Leone's fucking, Fistful of Dollars and things like that, or How the West Was Won, or Once Upon a Time in the West, or they got to more of these gritty kind of Mexican South American style westerns. If it turns kind of like that, then it'll be interesting. But what they need to do and why the Mandalorian was so successful was keep it away from Star Wars. Keep it away from Star Wars. Leave it within the outskirts of the universe, but keep it away from Star Wars. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to see fucking Luke Skywalker turning up.
Yeah, we don't need that again, do we?
I don't need it.
We don't need it.
I don't need to see that again. I've seen it. It hit fucking fantastically. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see Han Solo. I don't need to see the next movie pitch. Oh, this guy is Lando. That Lando movie. No, yeah,
Lando
again,
will return on Disney Plus
yeah,
next fall.
yeah, and it's like I don't need that. I don't need that. Let's just keep it as it is.
Francis Ford Coppola has
Mhm.
released to some ovation
Hey, what the fuck?
his
Hey,
his fable of Megalopolis. $120 million is spent on this. Premiered at Cannes. There were basically one review I read said halfway through, and I'm still not sure what's going on. It's a sci-fi Roman odyssey. Adam Driver has just given the Hamlet speech, to be or not to be. I've got no idea what's going on, but it sounds lovely.
like it is. I am. I cannot wait. That is
I
what
can't.
I
I can't.
cannot wait.
And do you know why? I don't care if it's bad. I am not going to consider it
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I'm going to watch it, and I already know I may not enjoy it,
yeah.
but I damn well fucking respect it
I,
because he has put into this film probably about 80, 90 million of his
yeah,
own money to make the film. He's how old? In his 80s now.
yeah.
To make the film he wanted. I want to make this film with this cast. Here's my money. I'm going to go do it.
Everybody
Fair
says it.
fucking
Yeah.
play.
Everybody
Fair
says it.
play.
Put your fucking money where your mouth is, dickhead.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm gonna go and watch it, and I'm gonna go. You know what? It's shit. It's not for me. I'm not gonna go slate it. I'm not
Nah.
gonna do a. I'm not. I tell you now, we're not gonna do an episode where we rip the piss out of it
Nah.
because
Nah.
you'll do an episode. I'll
Nah,
kind of just be in that.
but I'm not, that's the thing. We all know. Listen, we all know that we can enjoy a bad movie. We can all enjoy a bad movie,
Yes.
and that sometimes that sometimes is better than watching a good movie or enjoying a good movie. So
Yeah.
I reserve the right to complain about it a little bit because I have read some things about it and it seems fucking bonkers. And
I
it
don't
just
want to
say,
complain. I can critique.
okay,
We
yeah,
can
yeah, sure.
critique,
Yeah, okay.
but I respect him for what he's done. There's
Oh,
not a lot of
100%.
directors that do that to that extent. I mean, yeah, the
100%.
guy's fucking loaded anyway, but
Yeah, but that, do you know what though? Let's be brutally honest, right? Would Coppola be worth much more than fucking 80 or 90 million?
maybe not. If I was Sophia, I'd be raging at where my inheritance has just gone.
No, no, no. Do you know who'd be raging? All the other Coppolas that you don't know about. The other ones
Like,
like Nick Cage. Nick Cage got big and blah blah blah, and he made
yeah,
his
he was
money.
waiting for it.
Yeah, Sophia Coppola. She was in that Spike Jones clique, married to Spike Jones. I'm not saying that she got money from Spike Jones. She's an auteur in her own right and makes her own movies and blah 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 blah. But all I'm worried about is like fucking Mickey Coppola and Francie
No,
Coppola.
apparently he's worth 400 million. So even if the
No way. How?
apparently, I don't
Francis
fucking know
Francis Ford
why.
Coppola hasn't made a good movie in 50 years. 50 years. Like, what was his last good movie?
Let's have a look.
The
Was
last
it
movie that I
Jack?
can last movie that I can remember is Jack, and that was like in the mid 90s. And that was shit.
See, let's take the
Godfather 3 was
Apocalypse
shit.
Now. Hang on, Apocalypse Now, The Outsiders, Rumblefish, Peggy Sue Got Married, Godfather Part
You have
3.
never seen Peggy Sue Got Married. So don't even start.
Slow down, right? Jack in 96, The
Uh-huh.
Rainmaker in 97.
Shit.
Um, yeah, okay, maybe you got a point. But he'll be getting a lot of residuals from Godfather. That'll be what's
No
bumping it
way.
up.
Mario Puzo
Fucking
makes
right.
every penny from The Godfather,
He'll
and
be
you know it.
he'll have had one of those deals back then. But think about this now, right? I can't believe we're arguing over whether he's worth the money or not. But basically now he's in a position where if this film makes 1 billion at the box office,
I hope it
it,
does.
I hope it does. I hope it's made 1 billion and everyone sits around going, what the fuck would
Francie Coppola needs them fucking pound going. All
I
right,
hope it's
pa.
more I hope it's more Tree of Life than Cloud Atlas. Let's just put it that way.
Do you know, I've never seen Tree of Life.
Yeah, it's a grind, but I can appreciate it. Cloud Atlas was confusing. Right. So that's about it. We're going to be going over to Cormac. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there is one more bit of news. Will Forte is announced and sent to the cast this week
That there's going to be a
of
fifth season of The Last Man on Earth. Goodbye,
no,
everybody. No.
he sent a message to the cast of Coyote versus Acme.
30 Rock. The cast of
He's
30 Rock. He said
no,
the no.
he said Coyote versus Acme. Pretty much, we know we all love the film and it's very good, but it's highly likely it's not going to be released. And Cormac, as today is the 19th of May, what? Why am I bringing this up? You tell the audience. Go on. Before we go to Cormac Corner, you go on.
Well, I
Cormac
I
owes me money, everybody.
I owe Paul money now because I lost a bet.
We
That
had a
is,
bet. We had a bet. I think it was in the Indiana Jones and the Dial of whatever
yeah.
episode. I released some news, like it was me personally releasing the news. We discussed the news, and I put it to you, and I said, Wiley Acme versus Coyote, whatever, is
Mhm.
not going ahead. They're going to shelve it. They're putting it in a vault, and they're getting a tax write-off. You said,
There's
I
no
guarantee
chance.
you.
Yeah, there's no chance that'll fucking
I say
happen.
to you, now, boy,
You're
that
mental.
film,
You're
that
mental.
film will be in cinemas by the 1st of May, so it will. That's what you said. That's what you said.
Cormac Paisley did say that. Yes, yes.
I do declare that film will be in cinemas on the 1st of May.
Never. And that's
Oh,
what you
no,
said.
no, never. No, sorry.
Never.
Actually, you said general release. No, why does it sound like Sean Connery? It was a general release, not just in cinemas. It was
No, just at
world,
cinemas, big man.
worldwide. It's not happened, does it?
It's Paul, I've got egg on my face. I'm not
What
gonna
did we
lie.
have? Yeah, we're going to tell you to wipe it. Are we? Is it? Was it 20 or 50 pounds?
I think it was 20. I was actually, if you can't make it out, but I was trying to get into my banking
No, no,
app
no, no.
to
I'm
send it
gonna,
through now.
I'm gonna be the bigger man right now, Com. As
You're
it's our
gonna
birthday.
you're
As
gonna
it's our
send
birthday.
you're
Okay,
gonna
as it's
send
our
me the
birthday.
money. You're gonna
No,
send me the
no,
money.
no, no. As it's our birthday, I'm going to forego money.
Okay.
We don't deal in such trinkets such as that.
Okay.
All you need to say is no abridgment, nothing else, Corm. All you need to say is, Paul, you were right. And I'll forgive the money. Nothing else. Don't put any buts on the end. No Cormacisms. That's all I want to hear. So if you're prepared to do that now, we can move on to Cormac Corner and forget all about it. Did you press mute as you were doing that? Because it cut your sound out as you went right
Did
close to
not.
the microphone.
Did not.
I'm.
Paul,
Mhm.
you were right.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll go. We can forget it now. So we'll go over to Cormac Corner then if there's nothing else
I just
from you
want you
for
to
the
know
news.
how much. I want you to know how much that killed me. You've
I know, buddy. I know.
that was part of my Horcrux. That's me. That
Hello and welcome to the Movie Chef podcast where we make a meal out of movies. I'm your host Tebbs, and
and
here
I'm
with me
Corm. Shit,
is
it was too
Com,
early. It's too early.
and it's our birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Com! It's our 4th birthday episode, and we are bringing to you
How
on
how have we been doing this for 4 years?
4 years, 4 years, 3 arguments,
Zero tears, no
zero regret.
arguments, no regrets at all.
The Corminator and one take Tebbs. Somebody, I didn't. After I was off when I went to America, I came back to work, and you have to re-record your voicemail, for people, and I do my thing.
In an American accent.
Hi, good day. No, that's Australian.
Hi,
No,
dude.
basically, pick the phone up, and it goes, press 2 to record your message. I went, hi, and I just reeled it off, press 2 to save, and I looked up, and one of the lads is like, that would have taken me about 5 times to try that, doing that. And I'm like, one take Tebbs. One
do,
take
you know,
Tebbs.
do you know what I thought you're going to tell me? That you went on and go, hi, this is Paul from the Movie Shop podcast, and this is oh shit, sorry.
Shit, wrong recording, wrong recording. So yeah, it's our 4th episode. So with it, we are going to be starting a new series. If you watched the Iron Claw episode last week, and if you did, go watch that on YouTube. Leave a little comment. You'll have a chance of winning one of these bottles of this bottle of WrestleMania Prime. So go on YouTube, the Iron Claw review, and give us a review there. But on the menu this week, we are going to be having a bit of chat about a few bits that's been in the news this week, the movie news, including Megalopolis. We're going to be probably touching on a little bet that we need to discuss, Com. We're going to go over to Cormac Corner, and we're going to divert off to India. We're going to be doing our day. Can't remember the date of Cineworld movie episode 30-day movie challenge. 6, 7, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then we are going to be discussing Memento, the film that plays backwards. I can say Guy Ritchie, Sir Christopher Nolan, the starter in our 4-episode season of Christopher Nolan films. But first of all, how have you been this week? You've been good?
Okay, I've been okay. It's very warm. It's very
It is.
warm.
Is that why you're looking very floral today?
But I kind of look flushed as well. And
you do.
Forgive the lighting because it's so sunny outside. The sun has just hit the window at the right time, and as you said, I looked angelic, and I was.
You did,
and I just looked like I was floating. Like
no.
Front cover.
It looked like I was
having.
It looked like I was having a stroke. It like I was being brought to the light. I just couldn't see what were going on there with you all. But no.
So I'm gonna ask you this, right? It's a nice sunny Sunday. What did I do today, Paul?
I'm gonna guess it was something in your pants.
Jesus.
Considering you've just said you look flush. I feel like I look like a fucking ghost.
You do look like a bit like a ghost.
What the fuck?
But hey, that face is looking great. It's looking slim.
You reckon?
Oh yeah.
I'm down a bit. It's going. Yeah. It's going. I was to and fro-ing with the. Sorry, you tell me about your Sunday, and I'll tell you what I was thinking.
Guess where it was? A garden centre.
Oh, I thought sitting in your pants, drinking beer.
I haven't drank in 2 months.
Fuck off.
2 months, truth.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I've been drinking 0 Guinness and 0 Corona. I'm telling you, it's all fucking psychological. You get it.
You might as well go to a prostitute for a cuddle.
And what's wrong with that?
There's no point. That's not what it's for. What's the point in drinking beer? Beer tastes shit.
I like to kiss prostitutes.
Fucking hell. Bet you're more disease than that monkey from an Outbreak. I'm just saying, it's like non-alcoholic Guinness. What's the point?
Sex workers.
Sex workers. Oh yeah, sorry if we've offended any of the sex
Sorry.
worker community that are watching this. Christopher Nolan. Uh,
He said what?
that's sorry. Was that a sex worker that was having sex with Joaquin
With
Phoenix from Napoleon? I will take you. I will take you to bed tonight, Josephine. um, Garden centre doing what?
Looking for patio furniture?
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's my life now. That's it. It's over.
I'll tell you what I did when we stopped recording. But no, I've been going to the gym a bit,
I can
and
see it. I can see
it
it.
feels, it's not happening fast enough. And I'll be honest, I was looking at the old Ozempic and stuff, and I was I was considering it, to be honest. I want to get well, I don't know if I've told you. I've told you, haven't I? I went to Philadelphia this year, and
Mhm.
so at the end of the Kentucky Derby, or at the beginning of it, a couple of weeks ago, they were holding off announcing where WrestleMania was going to be next year, and it was
Mhm.
supposed to be in Minnesota. Dan, who I do the PCB Wrestle podcast with, go on YouTube, PCB Wrestle Pod. Look for us and
Hey
weekly
Dan.
talking about wrestling. Hi Dan. Um, he was basically saying it's going to be in Minnesota, and I'm like, nah,
That's
that's not
great.
happening.
That's
Nah,
cold. That's the
it
cold.
seems. No offense to anybody from Minnesota, but it sounds shit. So, um, they announced the WrestleMania was going to be on April 19th and April 20th, 420, 420 in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Don't ask me why I know this, but I'm almost sure Hitler's birthday is on April 20th.
Right. So it's now apparently that is a day when people eat lots of cake and be friends with each other and be happy. Sorry if anybody knows
Oh,
listening.
I've one that's only clicked on me. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
so
Yeah, I get
the
it.
WrestleMania is going to be in Las Vegas. So I went straight on and booked a hotel room from Planet Hollywood.
Yay! Put on
It
Planet
was,
Hollywood still exists?
yeah, and we're there.
Fuck.
So it's
Okay.
quite good. It's bang central, and so we booked that. I checked like a week. Well, no, about 5 days later, that our same hotel room had gone up by $800.
Whoa.
I booked it that night. I'm like, nah, pay for it, done. So yeah, me and Dan are going back to Vegas next year.
Fucking right.
Oh man, oh, it's going to be insane.
I have no want nor will to ever go near Las Vegas. Ever.
Why? Why?
It's my
Dun 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 dun
Do you
dun
know what
dun.
my life is now, Paul? Walking around fucking garden centers, drinking fucking zero Guinness. That's my life. That's where I am in life.
I'm going to be doing shots, and
Yeah.
I'm
Off.
terrified of heights, but apparently there's a zip line that goes down the street. I'm going to do that.
Oh, it has that big thing that fucking on the top of the hotel that fucking leans over like an
Yeah, yeah,
arm,
yeah,
and then it
yeah. I'm
spins
not doing that.
round. Oh, you
Can
gotta
fuck
do
right
that. What
off.
do you mean? You gotta do that.
Fuck, I'm not doing that. Fuck off.
Pussy. Pussy.
You don't even want to go to the
Pussy.
state. You don't even want to go anywhere near
I'm
there.
afraid to go into a room with more than 20 people. Yeah, you're the pussy.
But yeah, look, so before we carry on with our movie news, be sure to please give us a subscribe on YouTube. Click the notification. The next episodes are going to be coming on. They're going to be episodes there, so you can watch us. Comment below. Like I say, go to the Iron Claw video, give that a watch. Leave us a comment. You might be winning this bottle of Prime at the end of this Christopher Nolan series. And please, like I say, go on Spotify, give us a 5-star review, 5-star rating on Spotify, because that does actually get noticed and people
Yeah.
will find us more and more. But yeah, so let's talk some news.